I look at it this way: in both major parties, there are more establishment figures who come from a pretty strong government background, pretty strong internationalist background, and I think they have a sense of America's role in the world and what needs to be done to maintain relations, improve relations. And there's also then a smaller group of individuals who don't have that background, and you could call them protest candidates or anti-establishment candidates, but they tend to even have an isolationist tinge or a protectionist tinge to their message. We can't make any prediction at this point, but we can say historically those kind of candidates tend to wash out. That they're speaking to a sentiment that's an honest sentiment, and I would advise everybody to pay attention to. But I think most Americans understand America must play a role in the world, that we can't withdraw from the world. There has to be engagement to manage that. So we do see leadership in both parties with that premise. Better than why. Also, when you say, it's interesting the way the question is formulated, because you say, look, if you want to improve relations with China, that's very easy, you just accommodate. If that's your whole goal is to improve, it's very simple to do. Mm-hmm. And I would not advise U.S. presidents to say simply to adopt an accommodative policy.
That's true.
I'd say engage, and by the way, some points might even have friction, but some points might be accommodating. And so, you'll have, that's all of our relationships.
You can't have something that's too one.
Right. So I would not say my goal in life is to have quote unquote better relations. My goal in life is to have professional relations, mature relations, honest relations, and we think over time that does give you better outcomes, but it might have friction points. By the way, I would say TPP is not a bad step. I mean, that is closer economic engagement, that does bring economic benefits and greater familiarity, so there's second order benefits as well. But I think your premise is also correct, that don't stop your work just after that success, and I'd look for a range of cultural, social, person-to-person activities, whether it's educational institutions connecting, greater air flight connectivity, greater connectivity in media, films, broadcasting, theater, and so forth. I'd look at ways to improve on that. And the second area I'd look at is Palm Mill, whether it's training, search and rescue activity, sea coordination, anti-terrorist coordination. There's a lot of activity that can be done at a more tactical level on Palm Mill engagement across Southeast Asia. Well, I think the fundamental principles of U.S. foreign policy don't necessarily change administration to administration, meaning it's engagement and connecting with countries to help create that consensus, that convergence here about what kind of world do we want to see. And the fundamental pillars of that, I think, are issues on which there is a broad consensus. We want growth-oriented economics, we want open trade systems, we want rule of law, and we don't want to give space in our societies that allow violent groups or terrorist groups latitude to operate. So it's peace and prosperity are the fundamental pillars, but I think this is widely accepted across ASEAN, and it's how do we help societies move in that way.